Hello, everybody. I am doing a video today about the B string rule. I've pretty much in every other video mentioned this so-called B string rule, and this video is just to explain what it is for those who may not know what it is. And in each of the other videos, I do explain briefly why the B string rule is there, but here I hope to shed a little bit more light on it. Um, so the B string rule emerges from the fact that the guitar is tuned uh, from string to string the same way from each string to each string, the same distance, with the exception of the G string to the B string. The G moving to the B is tuned a lesser distance in intervals than the rest of them are tuned away from one another. So in order to display that, we know that the top string on the guitar, the sixth string, is E, and then A, and then D, and then G, and then B, and back to E. So the strings on the guitar go E, A, D, G, B, E. Now, E to A is a fourth, A to D is a fourth, G to B is a fourth, or D to G is a fourth, G to B is a third, and then B to E is a fourth. So all of them are fourths except for the G to B, and that's why we call it the B string rule. Now, I'm going to bring into the picture the circle of fourths, circle of fifths, that is. And here we have, if we were to look at, say, E, when you go counterclockwise in the circle of fifths, you have what are called fourths, perfect fourths. So we see E, A, D, G. A fourth would be to C and then to F. So we know that somewhere along the line something was changed because G goes to B, which is here, and then B back to E is a fourth. So all of these in a circle are fourths away from the next one. The tuning of the guitar goes E, A, D, G, B, E. This is the circle of fourths. So B is kind of here arbitrarily when it comes to this explanation because it's only a third away from G. But as a result, it upsets the patterns that we see on the guitar because it makes so that everything is not completely symmetrical. So I'm going to get rid of this. And so what does that mean? What is the B string rule? For instance, if I take this A note, which is right here, and I'm going to do an octave pattern. This is A and this is A. Now, if I have a pattern that ends up, so in theory, symmetrically on the guitar, if everything was tuned the same way, then this note here should be A because it's 2 strings over, 2 frets up, 2 strings over, 2 frets up. But if it should land on the B string, then the pattern would come up a fret in order to make it correct. And we can check our work here by looking at B, going C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A. So we know that's correct. So if a pattern ends up on the B string, then we have to adjust by a fret. Likewise, this is an A right here, and the A octave is right here. Now we did not land on the B string, but we crossed over it. So the cumulative distance still made for us to have to adjust for the B string. I carried this one out of here, but I'm going to copy it back. Now from this string to this string, it's the same as here to here. Likewise, I've got an A here and then an A right here. So this looks the same as this, but that's because we have not approached or gotten on the B string or gone over the B string. If a pattern lands on the B string or goes over the B string, then it has to be adjusted by 1 fret up. And when I say up, I mean closer to the sound hole or 1 fret higher. Similarly, notice, let's just eliminate some of these notes here. I'm going to put them over here. Now we just have the D and the G. Well, let's look at another place where D and G exists. D is the 5th fret on the A string. So because of that, the G is going to be right here because it's symmetrical. D is the 10th fret on the E string. As a result, G is going to be right here. But what if, well, we'll do another one. D is right here on the B string. And so G is right there. So if our pattern originates on the B string and moves to the next string, it's unaffected. It's only when we approach the B string or cross over it. In this case, the pattern is 2 frets away from each other. So now we see that if the D is right here, where is the G? Well, you would think it's right here, but it's not. It has to come up a fret. That's because this is the B string. So the pattern that looks like this is now looking like this. We will go ahead and do another example. We'll take, for example, C to E. This is called a major third. 3rd fret on the A string is C. E is the 2nd fret. So if I take C and move it to where it is on the 8th fret, the E is going to be right here. And don't take my word for any of this. Check it all yourself with however you can verify these notes. In your method books or just from your basic understanding of it. But so we see the C to E, which is a major third, is set up just like this. So then if we find the C note on the D string, it is right here. So that means the E would be right there. But then once we get to the G string C, which is right here, then our E is going to be right here. Why there? Because it should have been there, but the B string rule brings it up. Then we have the C, which is here, and then because it starts on the B string, the pattern becomes normal, and that's why the open E string is right there. Similarly, we can do it on these 2 frets right here, and we have C to E. So regardless of the pattern that you're looking at, if it lands on the B string or crosses over the B string, you're going to have to come up 1, closer to the sound hole, closer to the pickups, 1 fret higher, meaning if you're on the 4th, it's going to be on the 5th. If it should have been on the 5th, it's now on the 6th, so on and so forth. This is the B string rule. It affects all chords and shapes and everything. So let's just do one more example here before we finish up. Take, for example, the G chord. Or yeah, let's do the G chord. G, B, and D. Then G, B, and this is the most common version of the G chord. Now, if we were to move this pattern over, like so, notice whatever was on the B string, if it moves up. Now I know we're dealing, these are not the correct notes, but now we see the emergence of the C pattern right here because of where it is. Now this should be C, E, G, C, E, but the correct pattern emerges. Now if we were to take this and once again move it over and bring the B string up, now we see what is the short bar F form. So the only reason why these chords change their shape is because of the B string rule. So take a look at that, explore with any pattern and scale chord that you've seen. The goal of the B string rule is to absolutely see through it and don't regard it, meaning if you're a guitar player, you just understand that it's always there and you make adjustments for it when necessary. I hope this made sense. Enjoy, show it to your friends, like, dislike, good comments, bad comments, I don't care. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you didn't, I hope you find enjoyment elsewhere. But have a good night. Take care.